none of them are hostile. My own understanding from the experiences I've had with these ETs and with people who are in the intelligence community who work this subject in classified programs is that none of them are hostile, and they all have different levels of development. But in order for them to have gone interstellar and have that kind of technological capability where you're moving from point A to B across thousands or millions of light years of space, that technological capability means that your society has evolved past where we are, where our sciences and technologies could be our undoing if we use them for war. And I always mention to people that this is one of the reasons why civilizations that can evolve to that level of technology, if they haven't gotten their social and not religious per se, but spiritual inner development high enough, the technologies are going to be used to destroy their own society, like we almost have. So these civilizations are very advanced intellectually, socially, spiritually, and technologically. But the technology in and of itself isn't the answer. If you have very advanced technology, but you're still running around like a bunch of marauding chimpanzees, you're going to kill yourself and everyone on the planet, because you're not talking about just technologies as dangerous as a hydrogen bomb. You're talking about technologies that are orders of magnitude more powerful to transfer a spacecraft from point A to B across space-time. So when you look at that, you kind of realize that we're dealing with extraordinarily advanced civilizations that have both innate mental abilities, intellectual, let's call it telepathic and other, but their technologies are also awesome, frankly, when you observe these things and how they move. If you look at this documentary, The Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, you'll see the object that will be here and almost instantaneously, and instantly appears here. And these are during our CE5 events. And people go, what? I'm going, yes, they're not moving in a straight line. And I remind people, one of our disclosure project witnesses was the chief investigator for the federal government, the FAA, John Callahan. And there was a case in the 80s where a Japan Airlines 747 heavy cargo jet was going from Paris to Tokyo over the polar route. And over Alaska, there was a UFO that appeared the size of a battleship, huge. And it would appear at 9 o'clock. And then instantaneously, in less than one radar sweep, be hundreds of miles away the opposite side. And it moved non-linearly. In other words, not in a line. It would be here and then here. I have in my archive the original FAA radar tape of this that John Callahan handed off to me. The CIA thought they took it from his office. He gave them a copy. I have the original. And we have the pilot statement. We have the account of the jet fighters that were scrambled, and we have the radar tracing. So I tell people the content that we have is orders of magnitude more significant than the footage you're seeing on CNN. And you have to ask the question, why isn't CNN and Fox News doing that story?
That goes back to Project Mockingbird you're talking about, but let me stay on this. I'm a math guy. So for me,
great.
And by the way, what's weird is I grew up as a Christian family, even though I was an atheist for 25 years, and I'm a big skeptic. So I'm somebody that's, when you live in Iran and you see what you see, sometimes it's hard to believe there's a God, a loving God that wants everything to be fine. So
yes, I understand that.
When I sit there and I look at the math and you look at galaxies, how many are there? And you look up, you do a simple search, 200 billion to 2 trillion or more. That's the number that comes up, 200 billion to 2 trillion or more. So
that we know of, yeah.
That we know of. So it's naive to say, oh, 100% I know there's no way in the world there's any aliens. Well, what is an alien? What is an extraterrestrial? Is it the guy that looks like in the movies? We've only